The village was dying. A merciless plague swept through the streets like an unseen shadow, taking the young, the old, the strong, the weak. None were spared. Prayers went unanswered, offerings rotted at the altars, and the healers could do nothing but watch as life withered before them. In the heart of it all stood a girl named Elira, watching her mother's breath grow shallow, her father's hands grow cold. She knew what must be done. Under the cover of night, she walked deep into the forbidden forest, where the veil between life and death was thinnest. There, at the edge of a blackened river, she called out his name. "Take me," she whispered. "Spare my village, and I will be yours." The wind stilled. The stars seemed to flicker out one by one, and then from the darkness he stepped forward. Death. He was not the skeletal figure from the stories, nor the monstrous spectre the elders had feared. He was tall, draped in a cloak woven from the night itself, his face half hidden in shadows. His eyes, endless and depthless, studied her. "You would trade your life for theirs." His voice was neither cruel nor kind, but something in between, a force as inevitable as the turning of the seasons. Elira did not waver. "Yes." A long silence stretched between them before Death nodded. "Then come." With a touch as light as falling ash, he placed his hand upon her chest. The forest blurred, the air grew heavy, and the world unraveled around her. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the world of the living. Death's realm was not what she expected. It was not endless fields of bones or a pit of sorrow. It was quiet, a vast, twilight land where silver rivers flowed, where spirits wandered in peace, where the air hummed with something ancient and gentle. It was not a prison, nor was it cruel. It was simply what came after. Days, or perhaps years, passed. Time did not move the same way here. Elira learned that Death was not a being of malice. He was a keeper, a guide. He did not steal life. He simply led souls to where they belonged. She saw the spirits of her people arrive, not in pain, but in rest. The plague had still taken them. Her sacrifice had not stopped death. It had only changed its course. "You deceived me," she accused, though there was no true anger in her voice. Death only shook his head. "I did not. I spared your village from the fate you feared most. Chaos, suffering, despair. Death is not the end, Elira. It is only the next step." And then she understood. She had not saved her people from dying. She had saved them from being lost. With time, she ceased longing for the world she left behind. She walked beside death, learning the gentle art of guiding souls, of easing the passing of life. No longer a mortal, but something else, not trapped, not cursed, just changed. And so the village was never forgotten. Every soul that once called it home was led safely into the next world, carried by the girl who had once been willing to give everything for them, the girl who married death. But even now, on certain misty nights, villagers claim to see a figure standing at the edge of the forest, wrapped in twilight, watching over them. A girl, neither living nor dead, who made a choice, and in doing so, became something eternal.